Okay, so does anybody have questions about anything so far? All good
No.
for you?
I don't got any questions.
I'm good.
Nope.
Okay. Guess we can just get started sharing what it was that we submitted. And I'll start. Mine was this family in Maine, this couple in Maine. They had a baby and it was stillborn. And the hospital that they had the stillborn at, they allowed them to take a small skin sample and a small sample from the placenta just to do simple tests, see if they could figure out the reason for the stillborn. And then when they went to the funeral home, there was a chunk out of the child, out of the stillborn baby, that they had not okayed. And so they went to court for that and were awarded $500,000 for those unconsented tissue samples from their stillborn baby. The hospital was found guilty of negligence for that, I guess. So that's what I put or submitted for my individual assignment.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go next. Mine, I did wrongful inmate death because I work in a jail, and that's easy for me to understand. So the case I looked up, I guess, are we supposed to give our example that we came up with or like the one we referenced?
Were we supposed to come up with one this week? I think it was just one that we were
Referenced or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, I did both. The one I referenced was in New Mexico. This guy got he got sick or something. He had like he had a bleed in his stomach, and he like called in the guards, and they took him to see the medical deputy or the medical officer. And they sent him back, and basically they did that 3 or 4 times, sending him back and forth from medical to his cell to medical to back to his cell. And then at like 2 or something o'clock in the morning, he had died. But like the nurse declared him dead, but he really wasn't dead. And then he died later from a bleed. And basically they were saying that they sued because of negligence, because they didn't take the proper steps to take him to the hospital and things like that.
Good example.
Okay, I'll go next. So mine was an ex-cop who had been charged with negligence because he drove down the wrong side of the highway and was in a car accident and killed someone. And also, like murder, but negligence as well.
Good one.
Well, this just totally made me realize that I did the wrong one. I did group 5s.
Oops.
So I can tell you all about defamation. But
That's what you put anyways.
I put there's an article on the Wall Street Journal about how Trump's lawyer is suing BuzzFeed for releasing unverified articles about him, like slandering him about his campaign and his ties with Russia and all that stuff. But no negligence in there. So my
That's a
bad.
good definition one though.
So
Solid for
we're group 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally thought we were group 5. Well, that's interesting.
No. Yeah. But the good thing about being group 4 is we don't have a case study till like week 6. So.
Yeah, group 5 isn't until week 7.
Okay.
What should we do for our example?
That's what I was trying to figure out because we still have to do like the same layout. We have to come up with the question and like different answers for it, I guess.
Yep. Make a question and then things like that. I think any of them would be fine. I really don't care. I feel like they're all good examples of negligence.
Besides mine.
Well, yeah.
Definitely yours too.
If it was in the negligence category, I think it was probably a good one. So yeah, I don't care which one we do.
Just trying to think of questions that we can go off of.
So Camden, what was yours again?
It was the stillborn.
The placenta one?
Yeah. Yeah, where we took like tissue samples that weren't out of consent from the parents.
So did you say they did give consent for them to take some of them? And
So they
took
gave
more?
they gave consent for a small skin sample and a placenta sample, which were to be done in front of the parents, and those were done. But then afterwards, when they got the baby from the hospital to go to like the funeral home because they're going to do a funeral for it, there was like a chunk out of one of the sides because they took a large tissue sample, which was not out of consent. I mean, we could do that and just think of a couple questions about.
I'm just trying to think what the questions we could come up with that would be.
I think Jacob's, I mean, no, we did it last week, but I think his would be like the easiest to come up with questions about negligence, like the guy not being dead but thinking he's dead so he dies is like pretty easy to come up with negligence questions about.
Mm-hmm. So I actually have, like I said, I worked in a jail, so I have a lot of personal experience with negligence and like hearing stories and stuff. So Teton County, they will probably never have a jail again because they had like a couple cell facility, holding cell or something, and they took this guy in the back and they left him there for like a couple days and completely forgot about him. So they got screwed on negligence. That's another real life example. Not a our example. But we could do something like that. It would be pretty simple.
Yeah, let's do that.
So how do you want to do it?
So you just write out what the example is for the whole situation, and then in the explanation of our example, you just pretty much share why.
Yeah, but what example do you want to use? Like, what should we do? Like, do we want to do like a jail facility one, or do you want to do more of a business one or a medical practice one?
You can do a jail facility one, and why, like, there is the whole transportation to the medical facility and everything goes along with the jail.
Mm-hmm.
So the why they're the ones that are accountable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how about we do like a wrongful death, like a suicide one, if no one's opposed to that, where like deputies like didn't go perform their security checks, and because of that, their family sued for a wrongful death, Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
they weren't keeping them safe from themselves.
Mhm.
All right, I'll do that. All right. Here's what I wrote for our example. An inmate at a county jail committed suicide during the course of the night. The deputies are supposed to perform regular security checks. However, this night the deputies were playing with their phones and forgot to perform the security check during their allotted time. Due to this, the family of the inmate who committed suicide sued the county for negligence in keeping that inmate safe from himself and others at work. Everyone good with that?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just trying to double check what the exact topic was so that we're not like covering somebody else's topic.
Sure.
Because I knew group 3, I think, was really similar. Okay, so theirs is just the four elements of a negligence case. Ours is showing the proximate cause. So the proximate cause would be them failing to do their checks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So our question could be, like, who should be accountable, or who should be the defendant in this case? I'm trying to figure out what question we could have that has 4 possible answers.
Hmm.
So I can think for that question to be like there could possibly be 3 answers where it's the jail, or like the jail is the one that's held accountable, so they're suing the county basically.
Mm-hmm.
Second one would be the guards who are supposed to do the checks. And the third could be fellow inmates who didn't report it and they saw something that was going wrong or something.
Yeah, I like all those examples because the right answer would be they would have to sue the county, because even though it was the deputy's fault, it would still fall under the county because they're basically representatives of the sheriff or the county. Cool. All right, let me word that out.
And then the sheriff could be the 4th, or like technically like the 3rd wrong answer.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
Perfect.
Next question. So should I word the question, who would the family or who would the defendant sue?
Who would be accountable or no? Who would be? Yeah, who would the family take to court in this negligence case, I guess? Yeah, that's actually a good question. I was just going over the group like instructions for our meetings, and it's supposed to be actually difficult to answer instead of having simple.
It's simple to me because I understand the process,
Mhm.
but I could understand how it wouldn't make sense.
A lot of people would say it's the guard's fault.
Mm-hmm. So who do we say was going to be? The county, the guards, the sheriff? Those three?
County, the guards, the sheriff, and then fellow inmates.
Oh, that's right. All right. Couldn't remember for a second. That's probably the most obvious wrong answer.
Yeah. Couldn't think of a fourth one though.
got it all.
Got it set.
That's all we have to do, right?
Yep. And then I will. So the easiest way to get a link for this is just post it to YouTube. So it takes like 5 minutes max, and so I'll get that over to you.
Yeah, just email it to me. I'll just pay attention to it and get it on there and get it submitted tonight.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions or feedback?
Nope.
None.
Good.
Cool. Neat. Fun.
I will stop the recording and see you guys next week.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
So.